Seedance 2.0 4K is officially on Higgsfield, and today I'm going to show you how to create some of these insane visuals that you'll see in these videos with the 4K model using storyboarding formatting. So lots of realism, lots of control, and a lot better outputs for your AI generated videos. So let's jump straight into it. So here's some quick examples from Higgsfield of their generations and how you can use storyboarding to bring these videos to life with the new 4K model. I mean, the outputs are absolutely insane. They're super accurate, super high quality, and already I'm a big fan of how these scenes are looking. Here's another one. This is more of like a battle. The characters look awesome. There's different scenes. This is where we're going to use the storyboard formatting for. It looks awesome. I mean, it's just great outputs. You can get really creative with your imagination, and there's just so much versatility and possibility now with these image and video models, we can create 4K quality outputs with just a single prompt and some storyboard prompting. So just for reference, if you're not familiar with storyboarding, this is what it looks like. And this is a very common practice inside of AI video generation when it comes to having more control over your outputs. So I created an anime version of myself, put myself in a barista outfit, and then created 12 separate beats with a specific prompt based off of my character. I also created my character off a single image of myself, and again, a very specific prompt to give the body proportions to feed to the actual storyboard formatting. And as you can see, this is the video that Seedance 2.0 4K outputted. You can see the quality is much better. It's got the nice animated or anime style. Because I had the storyboard created, there's so much more control. I know exactly what the outputs are gonna look like. And it's just an overall really clean AI generated video. Here's also another one I generated with the 4K model. This is more Pixar style. This is not me. I didn't upload a reference image of myself. I created this character and the little monster, which you'll probably see in the thumbnail. But you now have so much more control with a lot higher quality outputs using the 4K model. And so today I'm going to be using GPT Image 2 and Seedance 2.0 4K to generate these high quality outputs. And I've already created a workflow, an MD file that you guys can use. If you want to grab it, it's in my free Skool community in the link below. It's completely free to join. It's completely free to use. I highly recommend you guys join because you can meet some really cool people in the creative AI space. But all of my free resources will always be linked inside of that community. But essentially what this MD file is it's a storyboard to output or Seedance output workflow where we're going to upload an image of ourselves or create a character to create the character board that I just showed you. And then it's going to move on to a 12 panel storyboard, which already has the prompts baked in. So you don't have to go search and scour or type directly in off of my video. I know it can get really annoying. Everything is already baked into this skill. It makes it 10 times easier for you guys, saves you a lot more time as well. It'll then generate that 12 panel storyboard that I had already showed you in the beginning of the video. And then after you approve the character board and the 12 panel storyboard, it will generate a 15-second video on Seedance 2.0 4K. Now I could just give you this MD file and you guys can run off with it and start playing with it, but I want to walk you through how I built this skill. So if you want to build similar skills, you can do it yourself. So the first step is to create a character board just like this, where we have all angles of the body and then all angles of the face in the bottom left corner here. And so the prompt that I use for this is again all baked into the skill in the link in the description, but it's essentially a person, style, and outfit. So you can upload an image of yourself or a friend or a pet that you have. And then it arranges those images in the layout so that the next section, which is the actual 12 image storyboard, can analyze those images and keep the consistency of characters the same throughout. And then in the actual storyboard prompt, this is going to have you explain the actual actions inside of your story to put on the storyboard. For example, we have characters. So in the Pixar example that I just showed, we had a main character who was like the guy hiking, and then we had the little cute fuzzy purple monster, which was like the second character. You can upload multiple characters at once to create a full story. You then are going to determine the style, the story, and the setting. These are all prompt based on you. You also don't have to add these in. You can just have it create whatever you want if you're playing around with it. But once that's done, it will output a 12 image storyboard for Seedance 2.0 4K to then analyze and generate each one of those scenes. Another thing I want to note too, in the 12 image storyboard, you do not need to have 12 scenes. If you want it to have 2 scenes, you can just have it generate 1 scene on the left, 1 scene on the right. Or if you want it to be a really long video and not just limited to 15 seconds, you can still generate the 12 image storyboard, but then have each frame a 15-second segment. So then you can clip them together to have a 3-minute video instead of a 15-second 12 clipped video. And so once that storyboard is complete and you've iterated, sometimes the frames won't be exactly perfect. You can always just go, frame 5, I want him to be holding the cup instead of it being on the table. That will then shoot it into the actual generation where Seedance 2.0 4K is going to analyze 1, 2, 3 through 12 or however many images or beats you have in the storyboard output, and then generate it. So just to recap, there's 3 sections. There is the character board, there's the storyboard, and then there's the actual generation, all baked into this storyboard to video skill in the description below. Let's start generating some outputs. So there's 2 ways we can go about creating these videos. The first way I'm going to show you is just doing it directly through Higgsfield. We go to the video tab and then we find Seedance 2.0 4K, click on it, and then you can generate all of your videos here. And then you can go to create images and then upload each prompt one by one. So if you want to go this route, you definitely can. You can use the Higgsfield platform. You get a little bit more control of seeing exactly, your outputs, everything's right there. But we're going to be using the Higgsfield MCP in this video to prompt our character board, our storyboard, and then our actual videos at the very end. Claude does a great job of presenting the images and videos inside of the platform, but then you always have these backed up right here in your Higgsfield dashboard. So the other way we can do this is through Claude desktop app via Claude Code. So make sure you have the Claude desktop app downloaded, you have the skill MD file downloaded, the storyboard to video skill that I presented in the beginning of the video, and then you have an open Claude Code session open and ready to go. I'm in a storyboard folder on my computer with bypass permissions on, with Opus 4.8 on max effort. That's my parameters, but you can set it up however you like. Now, to be using Higgsfield inside of Claude Code, I've done a ton of videos on this in the past, but you just need to have the MCP connected to Claude. And how you do that is just go to Customize and then Connectors. And you can see I have in my custom connectors the Higgsfield MCP. If you don't have this set up yet, just click this plus tab up here, add custom connector, and then type in Higgsfield for the name. And then for your remote MCP server URL, inside of Higgsfield, you're going to go to MCP and CLI, and then copy this link right here in this tab. Navigate back to Claude desktop app, paste in that MCP link, and then you can add it and you're all set. It's not gonna let me add it because I already do have it connected, but once your Higgsfield MCP is connected to Claude, it will ask you for authorization. You just need to sign into your Higgsfield account, and then you're connected and you get access to all of these tools inside of the MCP. So dubbing, generate 3D, generate image, video, and all of these other tools. Pretty much it's Higgsfield baked into your Claude Code terminal or Claude Code session. Okay, and so you have Higgsfield connected, and now you need to upload the skill. There's a few ways you can do this. If you're working in an IDE like VS Code or Anti-Gravity, you can just save this to your global Claude skills. But if you're working in the desktop app, the easiest way, the most beginner-friendly way, is to just go back into Customize and then Skills, and then upload that skill from your computer. Wherever you download it, you can just click this plus create skill and then upload a skill, upload it. And so I've just navigated to my storyboard folder in my Claude session, and I'm going to open the storyboard to video MD file. Once that is uploaded, we have this skill loaded into our Claude session. Now to run the skill, all you gotta do is storyboard to video. It's not showing up right now because I haven't refreshed my Claude session, but it will pick it up. It'll go search for the skills. And if you're not familiar with calling skills, it's usually just slash, and then I have my After Effects skill, add creators, Claude API, and then a bunch of different skills that you can pick from. But if I were to type in the storyboard to video, it's now showing up because the session just refreshed. Okay, so it has read the instructions inside of the skill MD file. And what it's asking me is to create a character, create a story, and a style. So I just prompted exactly what I want. The style I'm gonna go for is the Avatar Dragon from A Way of Water, or the new one. I forget which one it's from, but the Avatar Dragon, I'm gonna have Higgsfield generate it for me using GPT Image 2. The description it's asking for is a blue dragon, large frame, wings, research what the dragon looks like, and recreate a similar character. The story is the blue Avatar Dragon flying through the floating islands as the camera is behind it, following it along. The style is photorealistic, highly cinematic realism, and the orientation is 16:9. So that should be enough information for Claude to start working with Higgsfield and giving us our outputs. Okay, so it just created our character board inside of Claude using Higgsfield, and as you can see, it looks great. It's got the 3 side images in the top of the image, the frontal image in the bottom right, and then all of the facial features from different angles in the bottom left. Okay, so now that the character board is done, we just need to approve it. So all I'm gonna do is send off approved, yes or no, to your Claude chatbot, and then it will start generating out your storyboard for you to approve next. So the storyboard is now generating, and we're gonna come back when it's done. Okay, so I just approved the character board. Now the storyboard is generating. We're gonna come back when that is done. Okay, and so the storyboard has just finished up, and as you can see, it is giving us a bunch of different angles of the dragon flying around. Now, one thing I'm noticing is like this image 6, the camera is like up close to the side of the dragon or whatever this flying thing is from Avatar. I want it to be a continuous video throughout the entire generated video of the camera flying behind the dragon, flying through the floating islands. That's a crazy sentence. I'm going to just iterate with Claude. Maybe we don't even need a storyboard or a starting and ending image, because I want this output to be good, because the Seedance 2.0 4K generations are very expensive. So let's just make sure we're getting the right format for Seedance to generate a good output. So this is what I'm going to say to Claude. I want to make sure that this is a continuous 15-second clip. The camera is always going to be behind the dragon. It's swaying around, it's moving in different directions as the dragon is dodging through the floating islands of Pandora. Do we need a storyboard for this generation, or does a prompt work? Okay, so I just shut this off, and I'll be sure to show you later in the video of like actual storyboard examples like I showed in the beginning. But this skill is built to tailor to your type of need. So if you want to create the storyboard, you can create the storyboard if you want different scenes. If you want it to be continuous video, it can build out a prompt for you to feed to Seedance to get good outputs. Okay, so yes, this is exactly what I thought I was going to say. And I should have thought of this before because I was so focused on creating storyboards. I wanted to showcase the quality of Seedance 2.0 4K. Maybe one prompt might just be good for this. So because this skill is interactive and it's flexible with your preferences, we can create one prompt for this. So I'm just going to choose prompt only, and it's going to spin up a new prompt for me. It'll generate that, I'll approve it or deny it, and then I'll send it off to Seedance 2.0 4K to see what we can get out of it. Now I'm going to pause right here as this is generating the prompt for me. I want to show you my storyboards of what I created for that Pixar video that I showed you before. So this is the storyboard of the output that I got from Claude. It's just in my Higgsfield library right now. I don't want to exit my session as of now. So you can see it's 12 different scenes or 12 different beats. It's an explorer or a hiker looking through the forest. And all of a sudden he finds this little gerbil fuzzball thing. He realizes that the little gerbil has a king and a whole society amongst these fuzzy purple things. And so he meets all of them. He starts helping them build their city up because he's a human and he has tools to do that. And now they love him. And so looking at those reference images, it was able to produce those 12 different beats or scenes in this one video. And you can see the quality is amazing. It looks great. There's depth to the video. It just feels really, really high quality compared to other models or older models from Seedance. For 15 seconds to build out an entire story like this is pretty tough. So I'd recommend maybe separating the beats into separate videos. So each beat of the 12 beats is 15 seconds long, where you have that 3-minute video of an actual story coming together. Or you could separate each into scenes where like the first beat has its own 12 beats inside of that first beat, where you create 12 beats of just the guy exploring, and at the very end it's 12 beats of him like celebrating with everybody. So there's a bunch of different ways you can use this storyboard feature in the storyboard skill. Okay, so here's the prompt. I'm not going to read through the entire thing, but the most important thing is the no cuts, a single take. It's going to be a continuous video. The camera is locked directly behind the colossal blue Pandoran dragon. Pandoran dragon, the creature in the attached reference, stays behind it the entire time, chasing and following through the mountains of Pandora. The camera sways and drifts as it follows, so I want to have it, feel a little lifelike. It's not just a fixed camera exactly where the dragon's flying. So it's going to move. There's going to be some motion blur. I like this. Now I'm going to generate it with Seedance 2.0 4K. So all I'm going to say is I like this prompt. You can now render with Seedance 2.0 4K. Okay, so it is now generating the video. It's about 300 credits, and it's going to notify me when it's done. Okay, so it just wrapped up. It definitely took a lot longer than a normal generation. I'm gonna go into Higgsfield so we can go into full screen mode, but here we go. That's awesome. That's a great output for a single prompt using the skill. And I'm super happy with the output that we got. So if you like AI content like this, where you are prompting, creating, utilizing AI in your creative workflows, I highly recommend that you join that free Skool community, Creative AI Network, in the description below. You can get free resources, free access, and access to hundreds of other creatives in the AI space. You can learn how to make videos like these, build them into your workflows, or if you're just having fun and playing around with it, you can ask other people how they are creating their videos. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments below. So I'm going to leave you guys with that today. And as always, I will see you in the next one.